Are live. I'm Karen Ray, the founder of Fave Lifestyles. We are a organization for women entrepreneurs on the move, journeying together to create abundance in life and business. And so this is our Biz Girlfriend Chats. And so Heather and Charlie, thank you for coming. They are both from Free Time. And so tell us just a little bit, because we're going to just be chatting here today. Tell us a little bit about Free Time, what it is, and a little bit about both of you. Just go ahead.
Excellent. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather.
And a couple of years ago, Heather and I decided to start a podcast in response to the end of COVID to figure out what our girlfriends in business were doing. So we started the Women in Leadership at the Table podcast, and it grew from there. Everything we were learning to do for our podcast to help promote it, we were sharing with other ladies in our networking group to help them grow their businesses. And then eventually they just asked us, hey, that's great that you do that. I don't have time for that. Can you do that for me? And so the business side was born. And then just a couple of months ago, we merged businesses with John Rollins of Socially EKG, and we created Free Time Solutions, which ultimate goal is to help give business owners back their free time so they can focus on what is more important to them in their business or their lives, or both.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing over there at Free Time.
So I am the CMO. So that's the Chief Marketing Officer. So I get to be creative, and I work with graphics, a lot of graphics, and putting those things into graphics that really identify the heart and soul of the business. So, and that's something that we do that's very unique, is we really want social media, website, app, whatever we're working with you on in our business to reflect personally and authentically what business you want to put out there. So we're using those same skills, like from our podcast interviews to interview our clients, to really get to the heart and soul of why they're doing business. Because the first stages of social media really need to be identifying your business and what your core of what you believe is, so that we can get it out there. So the core message of your business needs to be educated to your audience.
Yeah. So, and actually that's a little bit what we're going to be talking about today too, is kind of the growth of the entrepreneur, these different stages. So, but first I'm just going to give you both a shout out, because Free Time is the Fave app. It's absolutely fabulous. Go check it out, ladies. You can create a free Biz Girlfriend profile at favelifestyles.app, or download on Apple or Android. I use the scheduling system. Oh my gosh. So we are scheduling social media for over 60 people.
Yeah.
Those are our members, and we do that for them one time a month. So that's 60 different pieces of content going out every month, just in that realm. And then plus all of our own promotion and stuff. I could
just see like old school, like the little card, like an index card or something, like it's Monday and I need to post for this person. Like, could you even imagine trying to keep track of 60 people, like on little cards, or like something manual? Like, oh man.
Yeah. And I have all these little files. It's all organized. We know when everything goes out. We've got a schedule. It is so easy. It's just drop and drag, but I'm not techie. I can do it. And so, yeah, just think of how many hours what that would take. So anyway, it's just huge. So I have bought back a lot of my free time, and what a great system. And I love it. And I love our app and the convenience and the ease of that as well. So so many great things and so much beauty that is brought to our world here at Fave. So, we're going to be talking a little bit about the growth of the woman entrepreneur. So here at Fave, we kind of have three different stages of where women are journeying from and to. So that first stage is that where she's sparking that discovery. She's building a foundation of her business. That second phase is, I call it ignite growth, is where you're seeing some success. You validated already your programs. You're starting to grow and add different things. And the third phase is when you really become the leader of other leaders. And that we have women here who are in that spot too, where they are the mentors of other women. And so we have these 3 stages. So and my goal here is that as we create a pathway for women, when they come into our business society, they'll have a checklist. They'll have, this is what you need to do to that first stage, that foundation stage. And so they, like with your services, they may not need what the leader woman who has an expansive business.
It would be too much. Like, it's like, I love that you're creating the pathway, because if you jump right in and you try to work with us, but you haven't, been on the path over here and talked with Wonderful yet, when you're working with us is going to be totally different after you do. So I'm excited that the pathway is laid out for women entering. And when you come to work with us, we have several tiers to our business so that we have something for every stage, which is super exciting.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what that woman who is just, she's already launched. So she's not launching her business, but she's got it launched, but she's in that foundation stage. She's starting to get a few clients, starting to, get out there a little bit. What does that look like when where is she at and where is she going to within that stage?
Excellent. The first thing I would recommend is, at this stage, you probably have your mission, you have your vision, you have your philosophy, you might have an idea of what you want your brand to look like and feel like, and things like that. Basically, you've already done Wonderful's class, or at least have a pretty good idea of what your business is and what you want it to be.
Yes.
And
so that's branding and marketing and that type of stuff. In case you don't know who Wonderful is, Wonderful Morrison is one of our members here who does a lot of that branding and marketing, finding your client.
And she really teaches the foundations of business. So in the process of picking your pretty colors, you're being taught like why you pick these pretty colors, right? Like she teaches the things that you didn't know you needed to know about business, right? Yeah. And what I love about what we offer to the Fave ladies is when you come in, you get to come in at our base membership for free. And so, that is digital Discovery Wednesdays. And so that's our digital newsletter with a little video. And
it's like a little quick 5-minute tutorial each week on a different system that you could institute into your business, and it gives you a little information about it.
Need to know about marketing. So whether that's like, should I join Threads? What does Google My Business mean? These are the resources that we're putting together. And then as they go, they become our library. And so our base members will have access to all of that information. And so in their 10 minutes or less, little snippets. So like for the busy person, just a little bit of information so you know what you're looking at. And they're really fun. So they're almost like taking a break because we got them in a cartoon format, and we're just having a lot of fun recording ourselves with these AI cartoon overlays. But we're talking, it's us, it's real people talking. So that's very exciting.
That's a really good base layer to start. Then once you have all your stuff together, then we can help you create that brand package with the graphic designs and things like that. And then we build from there. So we have your colors and logos and everything, and fonts ready to go. And then we can build your website or your app or your social media content from there.
And part of our membership program, we teach you how to use Canva. So we teach you how to make your own brand identity in Canva, so that when you're creating your social media content in Canva, you're all pretty along your brand profile. But we can put together a kit for you, and we can do those pieces for you. So we
Nice.
meet you where you're at, right?
Yes.
So if you are a real do-it-yourself, then you can do it. We'll teach you.
Yeah,
If you need us to do it, we help with that.
We got your back.
And so our memberships include the classes, teaching, and then the next level includes what we're calling the war room, which means that we are ready. And what that means is that we're doing the social media piece together as a community and being accountable for that. So
interesting. So do you think that piece is kind of more the growth piece, or is that still for the woman who is kind of just starting out in that?
I would say that is growth support.
Yeah, growth,
right?
Yeah, I would think so
it's
too.
That accountability piece. It's the growth support. So there's all kinds of different ways that we can help support businesses, and we try to meet businesses where they're at and what their needs are.
Right.
Based on what their budget is, what they really want, what they need help with versus what they think they might need help with. Or maybe they try to take on a project and be like, this is too much for me. I need to hand this off to the experts. That's kind of how we come in.
And I think that woman who is in that growth space is starting to be in that space where, she's making a little bit of money so she can invest back into buying her time back. And so her time is spent, really where it counts. I know in that first growth stage, they're doing everything. They just need to know how to use Canva, teach me how to do all these things and get it all working. But in that growth stage, that's really kind of that special space where it's like, oh, I need some help here. Let's get this. Let's get this.
Once you're kind of in that space, then we can talk about social EKG, which is our scheduling software. So you have the support there on how to use it, so that you're effective.
Yes, excellent. So let's talk briefly too about that woman who is in that expansive space. So she's already gone through that growth and some of the struggles, and things are starting to flow a little bit. The finances are flowing a little bit better. She's going into that space where she's really expanding. She's got workshops. She's got the lead pages. She's got the freebies out there. She's got all that going. So how do you support her in that space?
So we look at all of that and we ask, is it cohesive? Is it holding the hand through the process? Is there something that you're doing that is taking up a bunch of your time, but you really want to be over here talking to somebody? We investigate all of that and see what we can automate for your business and where we can have the high touch. So we are high tech, but high touch also. So those customer service points where you really want to talk to somebody, we want to make sure that those are the parts that you're getting to do for your business. Because when you talk about your business, no one shares that passion the way you do. Right? But sending a return email to somebody doesn't require you to actually have to do it. So like we've kind of navigate and help you with that roadmap. And some of the ways we do that is we have what we call whiteboard sessions, where we look at your overall business strategy and where you want your business to go. And then like, how could that scale? And then we help put the systems in place. And systems, that's this queen. Man, she can put a system in place. Whew.
Yes. Excellent. So, yes, and I've had many whiteboard sessions with John Rollins, who is the other team member here, and actually just talked with him yesterday.
Right.
He helped you see that bigger goal, that where are you going? Even though this is what you have to take care of right now, right here, let's also see where you're going, what you're doing. So we're going to be testing out some new things here at Fave as well. So super excited. So, it's the other thing that is so important, I think, for women, especially women in our community, is they want to know who you are. So just real briefly, kind of where have you been and where are you now? Kind of what's that story? What's that big why behind what you do? So just
well, I am not only a systems organizer, right? But that all comes from my background. I served 8 years in the military, so military operations and learning that and systems and how to organize things with organizational charts all over the place in the military. So
sometimes she makes me time log.
Sometimes. How long is this actually taking?
But it's good stuff. It's right, like things you need to do in order to find out how long something does take.
Right. So I served 8 years in the military. Then I got out of the military. I went to college when my children were young. They're 19 and 15 now. Wow. And then I actually have a degree in early education. So I taught preschool for a little while until the same day my son was finally diagnosed with autism. My daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. So I took some time away from work because I was literally getting phone calls from one school or the other all day long for like 3 years. And things have since settled a little bit in all those worlds, and things are
manageable,
right? And I'm able to follow my passions again. So as part of my journey through that, I did some yoga and became a yoga instructor. You know, everybody's got a side hustle. And then COVID happened. Like right as my yoga business was getting started, COVID happened.
Oh.
So I'm using my yoga teachings in a different way to help empower women entrepreneurs to tap into who they really are, to bring it out into the world and get their message out into the world. So that's really where I'm from and where my passions lie. And then Heather has like her own story.
I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur. Before I had my son, I always have been very crafty. So I would do like craft fairs or farmers markets and do seated massage because I was a massage therapist. And then when I had my son, I got very, very sick. And that sickness lasted for 16 years. He's now 18. And for 16 years, I was in and out of the hospital. I was very, very sick, open wounds, you name it. I have lots of surgery and scars and medical PTSD from it, but we're doing well with that. Overall, really doing well with that. We talk a lot about tools for dealing with some of that. And in that process, my son and I became homeless, and we have a place to live, and we were able to heal a lot of his trauma and therefore my trauma also through that process. And it was it's really amazing that we had that time. And then when Charlie and I got together, we were both on this journey of really growing as people. Like, how can I take responsibility for me? How can I step into the world as who I am and use my gifts where they're meant to be? And so being on the podcast, actually our second week in, I was in surgery on the podcast, and then I was right back to it. Having been chronically ill for so long, I actually felt better than I had for years, even though I was recovering from surgery.
Wow.
And so it's been quite a journey to be healthy and then to not have to be on medications that made my brain foggy. And these last few years have just been incredible to me to just be out of that brain fog and moving forward, and to know that healing can take as long as it needs to take. Like you can heal things. And just in the last even few weeks, I've really just stepping into my own confidence and my own well, Charlie talks about it like the CEO mindset, and like what does being the CMO look like, and how does that energy fit, and how do I show up in that? Because I didn't see myself as these things were so awesome that I know, because I feel like they come so naturally that like everything before always had to be hard. And I love that about this group, is that you remind us it can be easy. And then I like, oh, the easy things are the fun things. Like, oh, so putting it together. So,
yeah. So this is what I love. And I love, thank you for sharing a little bit of your story with us. I know that's not always easy. But I think what I get out of it is this perseverance. You know, you both have had quite some things to deal with. And I think that as women entrepreneurs, there's so much life. And I think that is one of our biggest struggles is those life distractions. And how do we still build a business with all this other stuff happening? And so thank you for sharing that with us, because you never know how your story is going to touch somebody else and to encourage them to keep going. So, and especially so courageously that you both have. So as we close out here, I just want to switch gears just slightly. And I have had the pleasure of seeing you start your business. You went from the podcast to then really identifying a need that a lot of women were needing, and within that social media realm, and showing up, number one, and then showing up consistently, number two, and what is that going to look like? And so, and now here you are today. You've worked with EKG to create free time solutions. So, and it's so very exciting. So what on your path here at Fave, because we are women entrepreneurs journeying together, what's been the biggest surprise to you of something that of abundance or some joy, or what something that you have enjoyed while you have been here?
We would literally not be where we are now with the support of the women, without the support of the women of Fave. We would literally not have a business. We wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be a thing. We would have never met John had it not been for Fave.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like,
so
we were talking about it, and we were like, it was saying yes to a friend who invited me to a wine social.
Oh.
And then saying yes to I was like, Charlie, you got to meet these ladies. You got to come to coffee. And we did it. We did it scared, because we were stepping into a whole new world. Right. Yeah. But the sisterhood, like, girl, come along, like, come in, like, and everybody just helps raise everybody up. Right. Yeah. We remind each other how amazing we are. And, you know, if we're having a bad day, we help each other out, you know, like.
Yeah. And one of the things, Karen, that you have cultivated is this community of support in a place that it's safe to be vulnerable with each other. Yeah. And that is huge. That is huge. You've created something very magical in this space of the biz chats and things like that, because it is a sisterhood. Yeah. And it is a support system, and it's truly magic when you are a part of such an incredible group of women.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much, because I was just this morning thinking of really what makes Fave, and really it's the women who come here. And it is that sense of generosity, that sense of uplifting and encouragement. And the one of the key factors is that we're all growing together. Yeah. Nobody is left behind. It's like it's like you make that decision we're all moving forward with this. And that's what I love too about talking about what you ladies do to help those ladies, the woman entrepreneur in each stage, help her take her next best step in that category. And to see, you know, like you said, we've got you. We've got you. You know, we've got the not just the support and stuff, but we've got the curated resources to really take you, and you can see how you have helped other people too. And I think that's so important. And
the Fave women are influencing other women's groups in the area. So the first time I met Brenda, she was speaking at somewhere. And so I actually picked up from her, life happens for me. Like, I picked that piece up. I mean, that was like my mantra, like, life happens for me. I still have it on my phone screen, like, just to remind myself, life happens for me, not to me. And I get to choose. Right. And then to find out she was in Fave, I was so excited. I was like, I'm going to get to know Brenda, you see these women in the community making positive impacts in other ways.
Yes. We have many speakers here. We have women who are, featured regularly on podcasts, and so many fun things. So ladies, thank you for coming and joining me today in our Biz Girlfriend Chats. And for the ladies out there, if you want to know more about our community and come and be a part of these women journeying together and be a part of be a guide and be part of the support system and be guided as well in your next steps, I invite you to come and chat. So, ladies, you're fabulous. I love all the things that you are doing. I love working with you. It is just such a joy. And you know what? We'll see you next time on the Biz Chats.